Arcade Perfect, my Arse.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to another Arcade Perfect My Arse. It's been a while. Yeah, that's probably an understatement. I can't actually remember the last time I put one of these out. I don't know. It's maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I can't really remember. It really doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, apologies about the lack of these. I thought since I've got a bit of spare time, I may as well put one together. Now, this one is going to break the sort of the mould slightly. I'm going to be looking at Donkey Kong games. Now, there was very, very few official Donkey Kong games released on home systems, and I figured it would be a bit of a laugh and quite interesting to see just what the best versions were on home systems. I mean, there were some unbelievably horrific games. I think the very, 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 very first, no, in fact it was the very second mashup I ever did, number 2 it was Crazy Kong by Interceptor Software on the Commodore 64, and it is fucking diabolical. It is awful. But that's for another day. I'm not going to be looking at bad versions. I'm going to try and look at the best versions for as many systems as I can possibly find. So anyway, yeah, let's go. This game is it's one of my favourite arcade games. I'm not good at it at all, but it's such a lovely game. I never really liked the game until I watched The King of Kong, and I realised just what a kind of deep game it is. So yeah, let's batter on, as they say, throw a few barrels. Now I'm drinking a nice cup of tea, if you're wondering what the slurping noises in the background. Now, this game really shouldn't be that difficult to actually put together, because I mean it's all fairly simple. You've got some static graphics. The only moving graphics you've really got are some barrels. You've got a little sort of flaming animation at the bottom. Yep. And you've obviously got the little fire thing as well. You know what? That is terrible. I looked to the side. I was too busy looking to see the barrel coming towards me, and I didn't even think to see where I was actually going to be standing. Now, unfortunately, guys, I'm probably not going to get too far into the game. I mean, I can usually get... See, the thing with these games, that is a mark of a good video game. It can just kick your arse big style and make you look like a total twat. And that's what this game is doing right now. I'm not going to try and get high scores. I'm just going to try and get as far into the game as possible to let you see as many levels as I can possibly do. Oh, that was close. Very close. But I love this game. I'm not good at it at all. But it's such a awesome video game. It's the secret to a good video game, in my opinion, is it looks simple. Bollocks. It looks simple, and you think you should easily be able to get far in it. But then it'll just rise up and kick your arse when you least expect it. You know, it looks a simple game, but it's fiendishly difficult. And the biggest... I'm not going to bother with getting points. Yeah, and what was I talking about there? Yeah, you think the biggest draw for a game like this is, as soon as you die, you instantly want to go back and do it again, because you know you can do so much better. Now, I don't know why I've done it this way. It's a pretty shit way to play this game, actually. Now, interestingly, I think was it the Japanese version of this, the order of screens, I think it goes straight from the second screen is actually the pie screen, I think. Now on a good day you can just run straight up and jump over barrels and be done with it. But you know what, it's all about being lucky. This is going to be challenging, I think. Oof. That were close, gov. And it's trying not to rush it like I was doing there. I should have just waited. Right, one more life. But it's a game, if you watch The King of Kong, there are so many little nuances? I don't know. Little things that can affect the game. Which, that was silly. Right, anyway, that's game over. Yeah, there's little things that can happen depending on what you do in the game. Which most people would never ever actually notice. So anyway guys, listen, that is the arcade one, so let's go and take it some home versions. Right, this is the Atari 2600 version. Now it looks like it's rather than Donkey Kong, it should be Gingerbread Man. Now, can I say right away that it actually looks like Mario, albeit he's wearing a Teletubby onesie. Now, I don't know when this version came out. It'd be interesting to see, because now I've only played this game for what, about all of 40 odd seconds. Oh, come on. Get up! Get up! 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 Hooray! There's no such luxury as animation. But you know what? This is absolutely spot on. Yeah, it's the graphics are slightly naff. In fact, the actual sprites themselves are alright. It just seems to be the actual bollocks. The sort of platforms that look a bit rubbish. And that appears to be game over. But you know what? That is actually excellent. It plays really, really well. For a game that takes up less memory than a blank Word document, that has got to be a bit of an achievement. So yeah, good stuff. That is Atari 2600 version. Okay then, this is what I reckon is an unofficial version of Donkey Kong. This is on the Commodore Amiga. Never played this before. And it doesn't want to start. There we go. Now that looks just like the official Atari version that came out on the C64 and Atari. So let's give it a go. Press 11 for 2. How do we start? F1 to start game. Okay, here we go. Alright, okay, so they've... Right, now looking at the really annoying little message going along the screen, I am guessing that this was released as some sort of competition thing. Now, obviously, they've they've just, well, it's telling you there, they've got an extra stage. They've kind of just ripped the graphics, whoops, straight from the arcade one. It certainly plays super smooth. And it's got all the sound in it. Let's just try and go for the end if we can. It's slightly more pedestrian than the arcade one, that's for sure. Now, a computer, a 16-bit computer should have an absolutely pixel perfect version of this. Now yeah, this... oh bollocks. Ah, where you go. Wait! Did that just pass straight through me? Right. Okay, there seems to be some sort of... I did notice when I loaded the game, there seems to be some sort of invulnerability cheat things, but I didn't actually realise it was switched on. Right, now I don't remember that. Right, okay, so I can even... Right, I seem to have stopped moving. Right, I don't remember that whiny noise. Right, anyway, listen, it appears to have crashed. I can't move, so I've got no idea what's actually happening. But anyway, we've probably seen enough of that. That is the Commodore Amiga one. It's almost an unofficial version of it. It's not too bad. Certainly plays a lot smoother than the arcade one, and it looks slightly too sharp for my liking, but all in all, not too bad. Let's crack on. Okay then, this is Atari 800, which is the 8-bit version, and I think this actually was released by Atari, so this should be pretty good. And it looks like it is. Damn it. Yeah, this one was released in 1983. Oh, what am I doing? You know what? I'm actually looking at there's a bit of kind of information about the game at the bottom, so I need to really concentrate on playing the game. Now this one, it's got really authentic sound effects and music, which you would expect, given it was Atari that actually brought the game out. And it plays really nice as well. Even if it does look like Donkey Kong's holding a rugby ball. You know what, I have no idea what I was doing there. Absolutely none at all. And he's getting rather aggressive up the top there. I don't remember that sound effect being in the arcade game. Slightly kind of bluey looking graphics, slightly odd graphics. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Oof. You calm yourself down, son. You get heartburn if you keep that level of aggression up. But this is excellent, absolutely excellent. Ah, there wasn't any wee little incidental tune. That's a shame. But yeah, this is spot on. And he appears to have eaten Esmeralda. Was it Esmeralda? It's not Esmeralda, I don't know. Was it Daisy? I've really no idea. Whoops, I need to jump earlier obviously to save getting my head crushed. I'm a twat.
Wow, dearie me. Just can't nail that jumping at all in this one. Right, how many lives have I got? I'm guessing this must be probably the last life. Ah, bugger! It must be infinite lives, because I seem to have had about 16 lives so far. Ah, and I've made an arse of that, and that was very, 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 very lucky. That's going to be the end. Right, anyway, listen, that's enough of that one. That is the Atari 800, and that is superb. Right, this is the Apple II version. Interestingly, you can see there it says Atari, so this is actually the official version. Holy moly. It's like Daley Thompson's Decathlon. And who has nicked all the ladders? There appears to be a complete dearth of ladders. And he seems to jump with an unusual arc-like kind of jumping motion. Oh, that was really lucky. What the hell, Donkey Kong has a ghost. You can see through him. That'll be why he's got these little kind of grey flecks up here. He's looking pretty old. In fact, he actually looks more like a stuffed... No, he is. He's actually moving. He's not dead. Is that a hint of colour clash I'm seeing there? It looks awful like it. When you go over the ladders, you get a bit of green colour clash, even though there's not actually any green. Now this, I can only describe as Donkey Kong on acid. It's running a lot quicker than I remember any version of this game should normally run. Don't fall now, don't fuck it up now, no, come on. Hey! Here we go. That is a Spectrum sound effect if ever I heard. Obviously the guy that did the music was completely tone deaf. Oh, get in there. For all its speed and slightly kind of rubbish graphics, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty playable. It's like a speed run on Donkey Kong. Now I am no musician, but even I can tell that is completely out of tune. Ah, bollocks, I was chancing my arm jumping there. I thought it was up slightly too high. Ah, I'm gonna die here. Damn it. It was actually one of my mates that told me about you don't have to go down the bottom, you can go along the top like I was just about to do there. Like so. Let me just try and not die. Hey! There we go. It's actually quite playable. In all its little farty noises, glory. Right, listen, you know what, this one is dragging on a bit. That's actually quite a good version, even though it plays way too quick. That is the Apple II one. Okay, this is the Amstrad CPC 464 one. Now, I'm quite looking forward to this version because Retro Gamer did a feature on Donkey Kong games. I think it was Stuart Campbell actually that did it, and he actually reckoned that this version on the Amstrad, which was released by Ocean, I think it was it by Ocean? Just give me 2 ticks and I shall tell you. It was released by Ocean in 1986, yep. He seemed to think that this pound for pound was the best home version, so let's give it a wee shot. Never ever played it. Now right away, you know, just watching the wee intro, you can see what all the fuss is about. I mean, for starters, it's not trying to fill the screen like some of the other versions we've looked at. It's going for the sort of like the, what do you call it, the vertical look. I mean, the arcade game was a... bollocks. Sounds really good now. The sound in Amstrad can sometimes be pretty dire. I would say, but the only thing that differs from this version from the arcade one is the Mario seems to move slightly smoother in this one. Ah, come on, I cleared that. But yeah, if you're a Donkey Kong fan and you had an Amstrad and you got this for your Christmas, you would have been absolutely delighted. The funny thing was, this game, by 1980, was it 1986, 1987, I think it was, 86? You know, Donkey Kong was long in the tooth. Nobody really wanted to play Donkey Kong in 1986. It was an old computer game. We were more interested in playing stuff like Outrun and, you know, more current games, sort of 3D games and that kind of stuff, rather than stuff like this. But to a retro fan, this game is excellent. I'll just have one more life. I'd like to have seen the next level, but you know what, I can't. There's too many versions in this video as it is without trying to play each one too long. Let's make one last attempt to get to the top. Oof, ah, we're close. Oh no, come on. I'm riding my luck at the moment. Oof. Hey, right, let's have a quick look at the second level. What's that thing you left behind? Don't know what that was. I'll need to watch it back in the replay. Right, so this is going for the Japanese level layout. Oops. Can I go up that side? I don't think I can. I think I need to go back along. I was actually wondering why I had actually come along this side. I always go to the right. I don't want the ladder, the hammer. Quick! Before the ladder falls down. Good stuff, there we go. Yeah, that's a tremendous version. Easily the best I've seen so far. Oh, piss off. Bugger! Right, listen, that one's almost 5 minutes, so that is the Amstrad CPC 464, and that's excellent. Right, this is a Donkey Kong, and this is the official conversion by Atari Soft in 1983, and this is on the Vic 20. Now, let's give it a blast. I mean, I've got to say, for all I was a Commodore, yeah, I was a Commodore nut I never actually really got to play a Vic 20. Right, okay. Right, okay, so it gave me points for successfully jumping over it, then it went on to kill me. Right. Right, it seems to kind of make up its own levels. I like the wee kind of toothy grin. It looks a bit like the lead singer of the Pogues, whatever his name is, Shane, somebody or another. It's certainly quick. Ah, bollocks. Yeah, it looks more like Donkey Kong's actually got a kind of mask. Arse. Right, let's go for one quick go. That's actually quite good fun. And I'm delighted to see that it keeps up, the Vic 20 keeps up the age-old tradition of browns. Like it's big brother the Commodore. There appears to be a lack of any animation in the actual sort of burning Hooray! Now I've just checked and this game is actually running at 100%. The sound makes, or even the speed of the game, I thought, is it maybe been set to run a bit too quick, but apparently not. Apparently this is how it would normally play. Ah! Arse. Right, anyway, listen, enough of that, guys. That is the Commodore Vic 20 version. Okay then, right, this game is called Honey Kong. Yep, Honey Kong, as in the bees' food, or the food that bees make. This is on the Oric. I completely forgot to tell you what system it's on. It's on the Oric. I think this is the first Oric game I've ever featured. What? What happened there? Right, it seems to be in French, so oui. Right, so it's all keys, and other than the death sound, there appears to be a complete lack of any other sound. Now it seems to me that they only had a limited amount of colour, so they decided to use it. Let's see if we can jump over a barrel. No, we're not even getting awarded one noise, that's a bit rubbish. Yeah, it looks like they saved all the sound. What's that wee white dot? For for Daisy at the top of the screen. It kind of looks more like a Spectrum game, actually, without the playability. Now Donkey Kong looks suitably donkey-like, which is excellent, and it's got that really common death feature, i.e. the angel. I don't know what it was in the 80s that they always insisted in prolonging the game by insisting you waited and watched an angel fly at the top of the screen. It was quite funny and amusing the first time. I'm going to be silly and see. Yep, there we go. This time. Whoop. Now I don't know, let's go for one more shot. Sometimes these crap games are really good fun to play. I just want to jump over one barrel successfully, then I shall be happy. Hey, get in there, son. Right, so it seems to me you have to jump extremely early Is that a shit that he's put on the screen? I don't actually know. Oh, we're going to maybe get to the jump early. Come on, let's see if we can get up the ladder. And it appears to have been beheaded. Right. Why is that? Alright, so I've got to actually go along and go up this ladder, is that right? Right, so it's going to make me... Yeah, that is Honey Kong, and that is on the Oric. Okay then, this is Donkey Kong, and this is on the Nintendo NES. So, or should it be NES? Because Nintendo NES is Nintendo Entertainment System. So me calling it a Nintendo NES would be me calling it a Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, this is on the NES. You know what I mean. Now, looking at the little demo here, it looks pretty damn good, which I would expect given it's a Nintendo game. Yep, silky smooth graphics, moves really well, looks very, very arcade-like, as we'd all expect. Yep, absolutely spot on. Now let's see if I can successfully get along the top this time. That's not going to be helped with him being there. Yeah, there we go, that's the way to do it. That's it. That's definitely the best way to do that screen. Yeah, this is spot on. I would even go so far as to say, because it's a bit easier than the arcade one, it actually makes for a kind of nicer game. Right, come on. Didn't really want to pick up that hammer, if I'm honest. Now these wee guys, they're so unpredictable. You think they're going to follow you, and then they just seem to move away just when you think they're going to chase you. Is he going to come down the ladder? Nope. What's he doing? Let's see if we can go along this way and get him. Nah. Oh, bollocks. Okay, yep. Last life, I think. But this is like an absolutely gorgeous version. Yeah, it's absolutely faultless. Right, anyway, I could keep playing that one, but I need to crack on. So that is the NES one, guys. Right, this version is on the ColecoVision. Now this was one of the first video games that I ever got to actually see or play. This came out, I don't know, 1982, 83, something like that. Don't know. And yep, this, I remember seeing this machine in, I think it was called Woolcoat, which was a large department store, and I just used to look at this goggled-eyed and think, what must it be like to have the money to own this? It just looked unbelievable. You know, it may not look much now, but when you think about a game like this in 1982, it was like, as far as we were concerned, it was arcade perfect. And you're probably saying, my arse, and you'd be right, but you know what, back in 1982, this was pretty special. I'm an idiot. I don't believe I did that. But this is an excellent version, it's super playable. Oh. What was interesting was this game came out as the box game with the ColecoVision. Now the ColecoVision was in direct competition with Atari, and Atari owned the publishing rights. Now I'm sure Retro Gamer, or in fact you can probably find it online, there's a story behind why these guys ended up getting a license for Donkey Kong. I can't remember what it was, but go and Google it and look it up. Right, anyway guys, that's enough of that. That is the ColecoVision. Right, this is, I couldn't find an official version for this machine. This is Killer Gorilla by, what does it say? Power Micros. Yeah, Power Micro. I remember that, seeing pictures of that in the BBC. Now obviously the Acorn Electron was the kind of BBC's little brother. So yeah, it doesn't appear you can use a joystick, even though it does say joystick. So I'm going to have to try and figure out how to use the keys. ZX star. There's no star, that's at the very top there. Let's just suck it and see. Right, how do we move? It sounds more like a Defender game with the sound effects going on there. Hey, there we go, right, okay, now we're talking. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to have to use... Right, so is it the @ sign possibly? Now that little thing looks more like the monsters in Monsters of Mayhem or something they're called, Monsterland on the Commodore 64. Right, it appears that I have got the keys mastered. Now that barrel, bollocks, that barrel seemed to be falling slightly slightly off centre down the stairs, which is a bit cheeky. I noticed there seems to be a big bit to the side that you can... Oh, here you go. Now, Donkey Kong, or Killer Kong as we should call him, looks, Killer Gorilla even, looks more like Rocky 5, Rocky 4, Adrian, Johnny Rotten. Yeah, you can guess obviously the guy was a big 80s fan, since this probably came out at the same time. Yeah, Donkey Kong or Killer Gorilla looks a bit more like a frog at the very top, rather than a savage gorilla. Now let's see if we can just sit here, because obviously things are just going to come straight down, like so. Right, quick, let's try and... look at that, that is cheeky. I was nowhere near that bloody ladder. That is very, very cheeky. haven't got a hope in hell this one. Oof! Ha 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 ha! In your face, barrels. Quick. Quick. Come on, before the frog throws any more. Come on. Ha ha! As the frog moves in to take Esmeralda and breaks Mario's heart. I've got to say, guys, considering it looks, I was going to say it looks pish. That would be very unfair. We're talking about a game that probably came out in 1982 or something. You know, it's quite jerky. It's slightly unfair with the movement. What? Oh, come on, have I got to wait for the ladder to get up to the top? Yeah, although taking all that into account, it still actually plays quite well. I mean, I can't play games for Toffee using keys, and here I am on level 3, so it's actually very, very playable. You know, I mean, the Electron was not a powerhouse. Right, let's try. Hey, right. Now we need to make for that. I use the term fireball very loosely. Right, anyway, enough of that. That is the Acorn Electron one. Okay, this is Donkey Kong, and this is my Nintendo on the Game Boy Original. Now, I am sure I did a mashup of this game. And if I remember rightly, it was pretty damn good. I'm going to wreck it! Yeah, now this game... that's right, it was... that wee noise of her shouting is just the funniest thing ever. Now, I don't think this game particularly sticks... Oh, what am I doing? I didn't mean to do that. I don't think it particularly sticks to the original screen layout. It does its own thing later on. So this is not technically Donkey Kong. Well, it is, but they've tried to enhance it. You know, you need to remember this was in 1990. Was it 4 or something? 1994, which was like 13 years after the original came out. So putting out the original just wouldn't have sold, you know. I mean, these games were 30 odd quid to buy on cartridge, so there's no way that the buying public would have been happy playing this in its sort of in its original form. But I did play, when I say played it more substantially, if you call playing a game for like 10 minutes substantial, then yeah, I did play it more substantially when I did the 10-minute mashup. Right, come on, let's get to the end this time. We're going to see an animation this time. I love that wee screaming noise. That's just the best sound effect ever. Ah, right, okay, this is fairly, well, not fairly authentic. Oh, bugger. It's very authentic, albeit the graphics are... Right, anyway, we're not going to play our game. That's excellent. It's obviously sort of a slight enhanced version of the original. That is the Game Boy. Okay, this is the MSX version, and you can see there this is actually by Ocean as well, 1986. So it obviously came out exactly the same time as the ports on the home, on the sort of the Spectrum and Commodore. So at this point, obviously MSX was still getting supported. Now he seems to be jumping for joy somewhat. And it looks like somebody has taken the top of his head off with a still saw. Now, can I say this? Oh, that's going to come down there for definite. This plays rather nice. It's very, very smooth. Yeah, it looks like somebody's taking his head off. I don't know why that happened. Yep, the sprite. Oops, the sprite moves really, really fluidly. That's definitely going to come down my head, and if that one doesn't, that one is. Oof. Ah, come on, no way, referee. Right, I'm not quite sure what's happened to Esmeralda, or is it Daisy? I can never remember. It looks like she's miles away in the background. She looks like one of the wee characters out of Load Runner. Obviously jumping, it takes a bit of practice. Let's give it one more quick go, since it's absolutely rock hard difficult. Yay, 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 yay. He's somewhat happy. And he looks a bit mean there with gritted teeth. I am going to get to the second level. That's definitely going to come down in my head. That one's definitely going to go. Oh, come on, no way. It lacks any jumping sound. It would be nice to go. In fact, no, that's not the noise for jumping. The noise is, that's the noise you get when you go over a barrel. Like, you know what, I can't be arsed playing this one anymore. That is the MSX. Right, this is there's no official version of this game, because this is Atari ST, by the way, because obviously when the Atari ST came out, Donkey Kong was a game that people simply did not want to play, hence there was no official versions. But this one is called Kid Kong. And now I don't know if this was released or whether it was one of these sort of indie games or hobbyist type games. I'm not too sure. But anyway, let's crack on it. Certainly, I've no idea what the game's going to play like or even look like, other than it does look like Donkey Kong. So let's give it a whirl, shall we? How do we start? Here we go. He doesn't appear to want to climb the ladder. Right, and rather than jump, he just batters it. I'm gonna wreck it! It's more Wreck-It Ralph, I think, that one. And it looks like Mario has been on the pies a bit too much. Don't know what the brown colour is underneath these. Well, in fact, you know, we don't even want to think what the brown colour under his trousers could possibly be. Now, it's got a kind of softened graphical look. Yeah, I'm guessing this is a complete fan version of the game, because it looks and sounds almost identical to the proper version, which is no bad thing. Ah, bollocks. It certainly plays quite nice. He plays a strange tune when he runs. His tone of his feet seem to come on. Right, okay, that's no messing with the end. Game over, your crap. I'm gonna wreck it. Right, let's have one more go. I mean, it looks to me like they've, well, apart from Mario putting the beef on, it looks to me like they've just ripped the sprites straight from the arcade game. This game you cannot rush. When you try and do that and try and rush it as quick as you possibly can, it's going to end in tears. Wait a minute, did a barrel just disappear there? Was it my imagination? Oh, 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 oh. Oh no, there's a fireball coming. Ah, come on, how can I not get over the barrel? Is that where the phrase "he had me over a barrel," or is that something far more sinister? I don't know. Right, let's try and leap over. Right, the game is broken, you can't physically jump over a barrel. That is shite. No, I mean, it actually looks really good, but you can see there my couple of attempts to jump the barrel ended miserably. So anyway, yeah, that is a Kid Kong, and that is on Atari. Okay, this is Killer Gorilla, this is on the BBC. Fire or Space. Now obviously we looked at the Electron version, so I don't know if it's going to be exactly the same. Well, it's got the same, in fact it actually looks like a dog's head. It looks like the dog that's in that Nintendo game where you have to, is it a light gun game again? I can't remember what the hell it's called. Now I appear to be, well I don't appear, I can control this using the joystick, which hopefully makes for a bit easier game. Although saying that, I did actually manage to get to the third level using the keys. Yeah, I mean it looks almost identical to the oh, the sound's gone wonky. It looks identical to the Electron one. Just, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Just slightly, dare I say, higher res graphics, so you can actually see what the sort of the sprites look like. But I'm guessing it's using the same game engine. I was halfway up the ladder and it pulled me down. Oh, there you go. He's getting escalated along in the escalator. That's going to come down and kill me. Is that what you call being in the mix? Yeah, that's a dog's head. Look at it. It's got floppy ears. Now I noticed Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong Jr. I should say, was officially released by Atari for the BBC. Damn it. Right, anyway, listen, that's enough of that one. That is the BBC Acorn BBC Model B. Yep, let's crack on. Okay, this is the Commodore 64 one. Now, the Commodore 64 was, I don't know whether you can use the word blessed, it had an absolute ton of Donkey Kong games. There was loads of them. Probably like most of the bits, to be fair. I mean, but I didn't really know what other Spectrum ones and that there were. But yeah, some of them were absolutely horrendous. I mean, Crazy Kong by Interceptor Software was one of the worst games ever. If you go to my mashup number 2, it was the second video I ever made. I play that game and it was diabolical, absolutely diabolical. It was the first game I ever owned from a C64. There's been other good ones. There's one called Kong by Analog Software. Now that actually looked really, really nice, but it was really hard. It was really kinny. It was really pernickety when it came to sort of like jumping. Let's actually play this game when I'm trying to talk. Hang on a second, I just need to why we're not getting a game. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to have to change the joysticks, swap joysticks. Now let's give it a bash. There we go. Now this is the Atari, official Atari version, which came out in 1983, and it's spot on. Now, about 3 years later, Ocean Software decided to release this game on all the 8-bit machines. Now, quite why they bothered releasing it on the Commodore 64 when the Commodore already had what I would term as... Now, why did I die there? I have absolutely no idea what happened there. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe this one was bugged to hell, I don't know. But nah, I used to play this one back in the day, and it was always the Donkey Kong that I went to. That's going to fall in my head. Yeah, so why Ocean decided to release their own version. In fact, you know what? I'm going to break the mould with this game. I mean, call me biased because I'm a C64 fan, but I'm going to actually have a quick look at the second version, the version that Ocean brought out, just to compare this with that one. I would say the only thing that was wrong with this particular version wasn't the graphics or anything like that, or the sound. I mean, they're all spot on. It was the fact that they insisted on stretching the game to fit the TV screen, resulting in quite a stretched looking game. If you could just make the screen narrower, it would look alright. So I think that's what Ocean did. They tried to keep the sort of screen ratio. I don't know why I went along there. Bollocks. Yeah, right, since I'm going to look at the other one, I'm going to cut this one short. So that's the C64 one by Atari. Okay, this is Donkey Kong in the C64. Now this is the one that came out by Ocean Software in 1986. So I'm just interested to see how this one plays compared to the other one. Hang on, I need to just swap the joysticks like so, and hopefully this will work. Yeah, it's obviously going for the more authentic looking screen. Yep, it's got the wee intro bit. Yeah, this is pretty spot on. I could see myself, if I had this one and the other one. Oh, that was close. I could see myself probably going for this one. It just looks and feels that bit better. Certainly, I don't know whether it's beginner's luck, but it certainly seems to be a wee bit easier. Yeah, this one certainly plays nice. Now, the only thing that I would have kind of wondered what Ocean were thinking was releasing this game in 1986, because, you know, kids had moved on. They didn't want to play I mean, this game is 5 years old, which doesn't seem that long when you think of like Donkey Kong now, but, you know, back when this computer industry kicked off, things were moving at a great rate of knots. That was silly. And you know, back in 1986, a 5-year-old game was like ancient. So I don't know, it'd be interesting to know who bought this game. I certainly didn't ever get a copy of it. I certainly wouldn't have bought it. Well, I may have bought it, I don't know. Probably not. Because I had no interest in games like this back in the day. Oh, that was close again. I promise I'll put this one off if I complete this level. You twat. Right, anyway guys, listen, that is the C64 one, but that is the version by Ocean. Okay guys, this is the Atari 7800 one. Now, it certainly looks very much like Donkey Kong. Blimey, battering his hammer. If not there. I've never seen a version of Donkey Kong where you can actually take out the barrels as they pass above you. That was a slight little... Oh! Ah, you arse! Now what's interesting there I notice is as he spins round, you can actually see his face. I don't remember that happening on any other version. Something that I've seen before, I've certainly never noticed it. Oh, 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 oh. But you know what, it's pretty authentic. It just looks a wee bit squished. If you could actually push it in a wee bit and make it more, what it's done obviously is Donkey Kong is a vertical game, whereas they've gone for the, it's been stretched to fit a normal TV, so that's obviously why it looks the way it does. But you know what, it certainly plays pretty good. Pretty good, I should say. Pretty good. Why am I still not there? I should just I always remember playing this, seeing this game as a kid, thinking that bit there with that thing that falls down was just impossible to do. Ah, bollocks, how the hell could I get up there? I mean, as soon as that passed over, I was off. That's a bit rubbish. Arse. Right, anyway guys, that is Atari 7800 version. Okay guys, this is the very last version. Unfortunately there was a version of Donkey Kong released by Atari on the Texas T19948, which was my first computer. It looks actually alright, but I could not for the life of me get it to actually play, so I thought I'd better just skip over that one. This, yes, like I said, this is the very last version. This is Donkey Kong, and this is on the ZX Spectrum. So let's start the game. Now this looks very similar to, was it the MSX one I think it was? Now somebody, one of the clever people on my channel told me that the MSX and Spectrum apparently uses the Z80 chip or something, and that's why a lot of the games look identical. That's silly. Now It was silly and extremely lucky. Ah, bollocks. But again, the graphics are functional, and again, the rather demonic looking Donkey Kong and the little interlude there looks like somebody has done a lobotomy on him and taken the top of his head off. So I'm really not quite sure what was going on there. As we would expect, I was going to say a complete lack of colour. Well, there's a bit of colour at the top where obviously there's no movement, but Mario is completely white, which is a bit unfortunate. But then I was going to say they use it to stop colour clash, but then you can see he's got purple feet, and he's not got purple feet anymore. He seems to, it's like he's walking in a puddle of purple. Bollocks. I mean, the wee burning barrel at the bottom seems to look okay. Let's have one quick little go. He's jumping for joy again. But you know what, the important thing with this game is it actually plays it actually plays pretty good. And that is the important thing with all these games. Yeah, he's up to his waist in toxic oil, you can see that, and as he's gradually getting out of it, it's still up to his arse, but then it seems to have, he's got his feet wet in it now, but he seems to have gotten out of it again. That was silly. That was very silly. I knew that was going to happen. I mean, it's very playable. It's not the easiest, maybe the fact that I'm playing it. Ah, bollocks. Yeah, probably the fact that I'm using this Xbox 360 controller isn't helping, but then saying that, I've been using that for all other versions. So anyway guys, listen, that is the last one, that is the ZX Spectrum. So yep, there are quite a few. What have we got here? Amiga was that kind of homebrew version. They tried to rip off the sprites. It was alright. It wasn't really it was Donkey Kong, but it didn't feel quite like Donkey Kong. Amstrad one was excellent, really top notch. Apple II one, it was more like Donkey Kong on acid. It seemed to run at 150%. The Atari 800 one was what you expected. Excellent. The only thing about the official Atari conversions was it was they were played to take up the full TV screen, so they looked a bit kind of squished looking, stretched and squished. That's about the best way I could describe them. Atari 2600 was really good. I was really impressed with that. Atari 7800, I can't remember much about that one. I think it was okay. The Atari ST, was that Honeycomb, was it? I think. Yeah, it played alright, and again that looked like it was a kind of homebrew fan version. BBC and Electron, it was a Killer Gorilla, which weren't official versions. They were alright, they weren't as good as the sort of official conversions, right enough. C64 one, there was I looked at two in that one, which was a bit cheeky. We had the Atari version, which again played perfectly, but it was kind of sort of wide and squishy, and then they had the official Ocean conversion, which was really good. ColecoVision is probably not as good as some of the versions, but considering that came out in like 1982, it was really good. Game Boy One is a total rehash of the game. You can't really compare it. I think it had extra levels and that sort of stuff. MSX Spectrum looked identical, pretty much played identical. NES, top notch, excellent conversion. Oric 1 is quite funny actually. Again, it played okay, it didn't look the greatest, and then the Vic 20 looked pretty awful, but again it was fairly faithful to the game. Without a shadow of doubt though, I think my favourite version is going to be probably the NES, followed by the Amstrad one. and probably followed by the Commodore 64. So yep, gold place, gold star to the NES one. Something you'll not hear very often. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Again, apologies about taking a long time to actually put this video out, but these ones do take time. And please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And as usual, thank you so much for watching.